So this is the view as you start to enter the front vestibule. Brian had talked about that warm wood canopy that carries you in and welcomes you into the space. And so we are entering the secure vestibule here. This is intended to be open for students, before school to pass freely through. But when visitors are coming through, they will pass through admin and have a secure entrance experience. Here you can start to see that admin space and a look back at that secure vestibule. You'll also start to see how we have centrally located a lot of community spaces. So the auditorium was off to your left. We have the community room that was centered, and then we're now looking at the gymnasium. This really serves as an invitation to the community and really trying to put that information in those spaces at the forefront. The gymnasium will be connected to an auxiliary gym that can be closed down. Here you can see that this is the community room. This is multifunction. This obviously serves as an invitation to the public, but will also be used internally for film room and an all-staff lobby, an all-staff space. You guys can start to see here where we have a centralized leadership zone. And so this is connected directly to the Student Success Center or the Student Career and Readiness Center. And that has a direct adjacency to the Commons, which is really the heart of the building. The Commons here is really intended for a lot of multifunctional space. So think, flexible furniture. We can have smaller group meetings. You guys can move tables together for larger group meetings. You can have banquets here. Maybe some community events can happen within this space. And of course, that's directly adjacent to the servery. Here you're starting to get some nice sight lines out into the courtyards, which we will experience here in a little bit towards the end of the video. But again, looking at how functional that this space can be, you can start to get a good feel as to what the material palette is looking like when it's all blended together. And now we're starting to head towards that innovation hub or that innovation zone that Brian was talking about. So right there is a really great example of a pitch space for students. It's really a multi-purpose space for students and staff. We're currently now looking down at the pitch stair, and that's used for presentation space for students, any sort of innovative, tech collab zones, all that good stuff. Now we're entering our learning community. Here you can start to see how the natural daylight really spills into the space, and you're really starting to capitalize on that transparency of learning. In the core here, we have a multitude of spaces. We have a seminar room, and then we also have a teacher collaboration space and kind of heads down space. Right here are where the restrooms are located in this specific hub. These will have gender neutral bathrooms. And then here you can see kind of that co-learning environment and how all of those learning studios really kind of connect in the center here, and it creates for a really dynamic and collaborative work area. It's also important to point out that the teachers in the center there, they will have kind of a combination of a collaboration zone, but also a heads down work area, and they will always have great sight lines to the students and be able to kind of keep an eye out on what's happening there in the center and within the studios. Here, as we start to get to kind of that open two-story space that connects the academic wings. So the academic wings are on either side of the west and the east side, and there's two on each side. They're just on top of one another. And so they are connected with a central staircase, which we are about to go down here. And we're really trying to capitalize here on every kind of part and piece and square foot of space that is offered in the school. And so you will see here that underneath the stair, we're trying to create another kind of collaboration or potential queuing space for students, more collaboration zones for students to kind of create these spaces and turn them into their own. And then here you can continue to start to see the studios and how you are starting to get those really nice sight lines out into the courtyard, which we will be entering here in just a moment. So those courtyards, they're really about creating another learning zone. So think outdoor learning labs. These spaces are going to be really unique in the fact that they're that direct connection to the exterior that not a lot of schools are presenting right now. We're pretty excited about it. These spaces will be low maintenance, so think, tall grasses, rocks. We will have furniture out there that supports learning curriculum, so we will have tables and chairs out there and flexible collaboration areas. Here you can see above there is a bridge that connects kind of the core of the building to one of those learning communities that happens on either side of the building. And then there you can see a really nice view of the commons up on that second floor there. And then underneath the space is a media center, which we are about to go into. And so within media, you'll see that we really do have a lot of different flexible options. We have individual workspaces, which you can see right here. So these are almost like little phone booths where students can have more heads down space. This was something that was asked for by the students. And so we have about 8 of these within the media center, and you can see it's a really nice balance of literature, kind of heads down collaboration areas as needed. And now we are about to go to the pitch stair to get a better view of that. Off to the left, we will have the Tiger's Den, which is the cafe. And so with the courtyards and with the Tiger's Den, we're really trying to keep students on campus and really start to kind of create some of those really powerful opportunities that we can get when students start to stay within the building. And so we think that creating those zones like the Tiger's Den and the courtyards will create a lot of good opportunities for power hour. Obviously, you can see a lot of students hanging out here, on their laptops, on the pitch stair when it's not programmed out, and ultimately using great spaces like the commons that you see here for a lot of flexibility. This is a really nice view connecting you from the commons down to that front door, so you can see it's nice and welcoming to the public.